Hey traders, John Howell here. Get ready for a turnaround in the stock market. Plus, an update on the metals, miners. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's actually start with the good old stock market first because we're getting right now to a place where I believe we're going to start to see a bit of a turning point soon. We're getting very, very, very close to an oversold level. So I believe get ready for a really big turnaround coming into possibly, maybe not this week, maybe leading into the end of the whole Easter period. And so I truly believe we're getting a bit of a pullback through here. All right, so from this move here, down here, we're starting to get into a bit of an oversold territory right now where we are. And so I do believe there's going to be a bit of a higher low come here soon. We may get a bit more of a downside coming, but looking at this here, we have this low, market ran up, comes back down. We're getting ready, I believe, to create a bit of a higher low here soon, and then start to see this movement coming back out of this here. So again, it may not be today. We may see another couple more days for the rest of this week. Market actually pulling back, but then again, we're getting very, 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 very close. We're getting very sort of on point right now, where we're getting where we're getting to an oversold territory. So I believe we're likely to start to see a bit of a turnaround coming out of the markets real soon through there. So that's obviously the big thing through there. Same for the Dow Jones as well too. Now the big key that I'm really watching for to see this overall momentum that's been happening, this short-term drop in the markets, especially on the Dow Jones, is a close above my momentum trend line. You can see here that on this pullback, it's every time it's come to there, okay, it's rejected it. You can see it rejected it there, and it almost rejected it today. That tells me that yes, we're getting very close to an oversold territory, but that tells me that if we do start to get something like this, then that tells me that now we've got a low. This is likely to be then a higher low, and if we get that, the momentum's going to do something like this. It's going to go up. We're down, 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 down. Once we break above there, then we're now likely to shoot back up to all-time new highs. So really watching that to see what happens through there. And the same for the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq's been hit the hardest, but there's a real good probability we're going to get a bit of a turnaround soon. And so we can see here, let's go back to the 6-month view, or that is the 6-month view. Let's go back to the 3-month view here for a minute. Right, so we've had a very nice move up, and now we're getting a very strong pullback through here. This is getting through there. So, but we're getting ready to, I believe, creating a higher low here soon. So some sort of very, very, very soon, we're going to get probably a bit of a higher low. If I looked at, say, the momentum, so we had that momentum trend line there. You can see we actually we've got a bit of a downward leg through there. So maybe somewhere through. I'm just looking at at least the short-term momentum that's happening right now, and so I would have to say that'd be it through there. You can see how, if I zoom in a bit more, actually, let's just go back to the 3-month view here. You can see what I just did there, right? So I'm just drawing a trend line to say, okay, for the last week, it's had a lot of problems where we're at right there, right? So we've had a lot of problems through there. So we've had sort of this resistance point here, resistance point here, resistance point here, and then a resistance point all through here as well too. So we can see that this rejection of this level through here has indeed been holding strong. And the reason why I bring that up is this, is that if we do start to get a bit of a open here, and we may get something like that tomorrow, or moving forward, as soon as we start to get a nice close above like that, like so, as soon as we start to get a nice close above, that could be the start of the turning point in the markets and looking through there. So that's a big key. That's a big thing I'm really watching out for when it comes to that. But I do believe we're getting very close to a real good turnaround. Once we get the turnaround, this is going to be a bit of a mock charge. All right. And what I mean by that is that if I look at, say, something like the Dow Jones, as an example, right? We've got to move up, we're going to pull back, a bit of a mock charge, and then away we go again, up to all-time new highs. So I do believe that's coming real soon. It may not be this week, but definitely moving on. Definitely, there is no definiteness about the markets, right? But definitely moving into next week is going to be very, very, very key to see what's going to happen through there. Move over now through to the gold market. Pretty much a nothing day across the markets through there. And you can see again, just really not much going on through there. Silver is actually starting to capture a little bit of a bid. So we're starting to get a bit of a bid coming into silver. Yesterday and then also today, you can see silver actually sold down a little bit, but then actually rallied up towards the close around that $25 level. So we're starting to build a bit of a base around that $24.50 level around the silver market there. So you can see we're holding strong, and then we're likely to be rallying out through here. The big key for me is that there's that resistance around that 25.50 level. So we're in a bit of a short-term channel through there, but it does look like we're starting to hold here. And once we can start to get back above, say, this $27 level, that's when all hell is going to break loose when it comes to silver, right? We're in this massive triangle pattern through here. We're looking at the daily charts now. Let's go to the weekly charts here, and you can see this massive triangle pattern. Once we really start to break out through here, it's going to squirt, and we're going to see one of the most craziest moves we've ever seen. And gold's going to follow, and the mining stocks are going to follow. And when I say mining stocks, guys, I mean like GDX, GDXJ, SILJ. That, right? I don't mean every single mining stock. So that, because I know a lot of people, they go, oh my goodness, mining stocks are going to go crazy. Let's go buy some mining stocks. I don't know about the individual mining stocks, but then the blatant statements of the indices through here, the SIL and the GDX, is likely to do really, really well. So we're squeezing up through here. Once we start to get a bit of a break above that 27, guys, then I do believe we're likely to start to see a really, really big move coming out of that. Moving over now through to the mining sector, the GDX, and pretty much a nothing day across the board. We eked out almost 1% on the GDX, but just still really not much going on through here. We're not getting any good breakout yet, but just still sideways. GDX actually had about a 1.5% rise. We're still stuck in this movement here, but we're building a bit of a base. I believe we're likely to start to see some really, really big moves coming out of the GDX. So we're still developing this base through here, like so. So I do believe we're going to start to see something like this coming out of that through there, as you can see. So that's what I'm looking at through there. You also can see the SILJ as well too. You can see we've been in this sort of flag formation for quite some time now. We're holding through here, so it does look like we're going to start to get. We're actually getting into a point now where we're probably going to see a move up, or we got the move up, we've got the sideways, and now we're probably going to start to make another move to the upside as well too. So that actual SIL is actually looking quite nice. Maybe for a short-term trade for me as well too. So I'm really focusing on that as well too. And then looking at the SIL as well too, same sort of thing. We're holding through, but we're starting to slowly go up. You can see the last sort of couple of days, we've actually had this low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and higher low through here, right? So we've had definitely a very nice movement to the upside coming out of the SIL markets through there. So that's actually the big thing through there. And the other thing I really want to sort of be focusing on is I truly believe we are coming towards an era that I believe savers will be winners once again. And the reason why I say that is if we have a look at the interest rates in the, obviously around the world, but then obviously in America, you can see through here that obviously that's the inflationary. That's the actual the inflation number. We know the inflation's bad. Let's go to the Fed funds rate. The Fed's funds rate. All right, and so we can see through here. We can see that this here is looking at. We've got one little starter point through there. But if I go to the maximum here, what's likely to be happening? Because we're now the 2020s. are going to be completely different than what we've experienced in a long time, right? We're going to start to see this whole overall movement down from high interest rates in the 80s through here. I believe we're going to start to see those again. Now, when I say that, it's going to take time, right? It's probably going to, over this next 5-10 years, we're going to start to slowly creep up to combat inflation, because inflation is just getting started. It's not like it's stopped there. So we're going to start to see a very, very sharp rise in that there, and therefore people that savers will be winners once again. We're going to go back to those days where my mentor used to say, if you can save $3 million, and then put that into a bank, with $3 million, the bank is probably going to give you a good guaranteed 10% return with that sort of returns. And with that, you could generate a good 300,000 or even 5% return, or from a guaranteed 5% return with that sort of funds. You could be getting a guaranteed $150,000 for the rest of your life back there. I do believe those sort of days are going to come back again when it comes to the banking sector. And so those who are in sort of the middle age, especially my kids, the savers will be winners once again. But right now, definitely not right now, as we continue to chop away at the actual interest rate through there. So the big thing that's happening right now, traders, is that still a lot of people think about the big macro cycles and the big cycle of things. And I still don't see any sign of a top in the markets. Major tops in markets don't come from major of the public being bearish, all right? And so you'll notice, and as the market works in opposites, that's why it's so confusing for most people who are just new to the markets. And when I say new, you've been involved with the markets for a couple of years, right? Over my time being involved with the markets, it has come to a point where you start to see that the overall markets form tops and bottoms when overall of the public is one way. So if the public is saying the market's going to crash, that's actually, and it's all over, that's actually getting close to bottoms in markets, not tops. Okay. And if I bring up, say, the fear and greed index as an example, right, you can see back down the bottom here. Let's actually see if I can refresh that. It's gonna load up for me. So what you will notice is that when there starts to become really a lot of fear in the marketplace, that's actually getting very close to bottoms in markets. And when there's a lot of greed in the marketplace, we're now getting very, very close to major tops of the markets as well too. So right now we're getting an overwhelming fearful and sentiment around the top being in the markets, and that's it. We're going to start to see another big leg down. And so we're starting to see that. So that tells me we're nowhere near the top in the markets. If we actually have a look at the good old Bitcoin as an example, because my fear and greed index is actually not doing anything. You have a look at Bitcoin, right? What were the stories you were hearing about here, right? You're hearing up here, what? You're hearing, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. Bitcoin's going to go to $500,000. It's just getting started, et cetera, right? You couldn't find one negative news about the whole crypto market and Bitcoin through this period through here. That's why probably most people that is like, so you trade crypto? It's like, oh, man. Here we go again, right? And it's like that whole it's like I just see so many people in gyms like, so what about crypto? That's the whole thing, right? Is like people are really, really focused on that. And because guess what? Because there was so many people bullish, and there was like, there was not one negative story about crypto market, right? It's about all these people making millions of dollars and all this sort of stuff, and internet marketers and all that sort of stuff just going crazy and making all this money, and it's going to go to 100,000, it's going to go to $1 million, and here we go, and all these people are starting to jump on it, and we've got Jordan Belfort jumping on it, and we've got all these thought leaders starting to get involved with the crypto and so on and so forth. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Poor Dow Jones, it's go, right? And then guess what happens? Look what's happening right now, and we're starting to just really, really, and these people who got in the last 12 months are really, really, really struggling. And that's where, like, for my opportunities, I like gold. Why? Because it's the exact opposite to what I just said there with what was the herd, mentality at these tops. And even right now, people still looking for a time to buy Bitcoin. The unloved child is the mining sector and gold and silver, right? That's the unloved child. Guess what? It will be loved once again, because it's just simple cycle analysis, and it will be loved again, and you will start to see those things rise. That's why one of my largest sort of investments are in the mining sector and also gold through there. So hope this helps you out today, traders. Traders, if you need some help with your trading, I'm running a 95% off sale, my entire Master Trader Lab. In there is close to around about 30 or close to 40 videos over 20 hours long. And in that there, I walk you through the foundations, like what you must do and what you must understand about the market to become a good trader. I'll walk you through, there's a couple of courses in there from the beginner all the way up to the advanced, the chart reading techniques you need to learn. I go into the trading systems, I go into the mindset. There's a whole bunch of education in there to really help you where you are at. So if you are struggling in the markets right now and you've been trading for a while right now, but you're going backwards, I promise you the foundations to a successful trader, you're going to that's going to blow you away, because it's going to show you where you're going wrong and what you need to do. If you go to Johns, JOHNS, flashsale.com, Johns, JOHNS, flashsale.com, you'll be able to grab that 95% off sale that I'm running right now. And I promise you that you're going to absolutely be blown away when you start to apply this thing through there. So if you are struggling, or you do need some extra education just to stay on top of this here, because just like I talked about with Bitcoin and the sector through there, then I promise you're going to be blown away with what you're going to learn in the Master Trader Lab. So go to Johns, JOHNS, flashsale.com, and I'll speak to you real soon.